back to the Joe review. So Newcastle United drew 1-1 with Watford yesterday. Honestly, I'm so pissed off. I'm still annoyed. Just so depressed. It's like one of those days after the game where it's like I just can't bring myself to watch like Premier League games. Like usually I just feel like when you get a bad result, like a result like that, it's just hard to bring myself to watch any more football from like that competition. It was like the FA Cup against Cambridge. I couldn't bring myself to watch another FA Cup game for the rest of the weekend. Man, looking at the starting 11, I was quite happy with it. Paul Dummett back in the side. You know, I wasn't sure if he'd be fit, but you know what? He played last of the 90 minutes, and he played quite well considering it's his first game back. Even though you could argue, the goal came from his side. In terms of like the cross, Chris Wood made his debut, but he wasn't getting the right service. But just didn't play it with strength. Because he's more thrives off balls into the box. Against Cambridge, we were putting lots of balls into the box, and we could have done with someone like him. But in this game, balls weren't coming into the box. The first half, not a lot happened. King had a chance which he fired wide for Watford, and Joe Linton hit the bar from a Ryan Fraser cross. ASM was just giving the ball away a lot, which really frustrates me. For all the talent he's got, he just takes too much time on the ball. I was frustrated with him against Cambridge, but you know what? He got a goal, the opening goal early on in the first half. Beat the defender. Well, that was him. I can't remember who it was. But he won the ball, just cut inside, and it actually worked. Because he smashed it into the bottom corner. When he's I slagged him off for trying to be Lionel Messi against Cambridge, but you know what it is, his skill actually worked, and this is what he can do on his day. It's a brilliant finish from him to make it 1-0. But I was just always nervous after that, especially with the amount of drop points we've had. And then Watford, they probably deserved the point they got. King was put through, but Dubravka, brilliant save on his 33rd birthday. He does what Carl Darlow will criticise him for, when he's coming out, make yourself big. Instead of just hesitating. You remember the Wolves game earlier in the season when Darlow kind of came out, but he didn't make himself big, and that's how they got both the goals. Dubravka made himself big. It's a good save there. Watford did have another chance. Lascelles giving it away. Oh, man, he is finished. It's like Colaccini, Stevie Taylor from 6 years ago. Like, it seems to be history repeating itself 6 years later. But we just have centre backs that, they're good for most of the time at the club, but towards the end, they just decline. After that standout season for like 4 years, Lascelles just gives it away. I think it was Dennis played to Sissoko on his foot. He just tried to hit it first time. It just went wide. I was so relieved, because imagine if Musa Sissoko scored. Because I'm still never going to forgive him for his lack of effort last time we got relegated. Thank God he missed. But then Watford got the equaliser. It was a ball in, I think it was Kiko Firmino. He puts it in. Lascelles, what are you doing? I think you're bigger than Joao Pedro, and you just let him win a head. It's pathetic. And this is why we need centre-backs. You know what it is? I wasn't too sure, break the bank for Diego Carlos or Botman, but I'm all for it now. Because Eddie Howe hasn't got much choice centre-back-wise, because really the alternative is Kieran Clark, and we know, and he's even worse than Lascelles, but he just lets Pedro win there. It's a good finish from him. And it ends 1-1. Botman is an alternative. I think they aren't going to sell him. You know what? Forget about Botman. I mean, there's no guarantees they do well in the Premier League anyway. I mean, yes, he'd be better than Jamal Lascelles, but if they don't want to sell him, they don't really have to. I mean, if it hurts them financially, then if it goes on to hurt them financially, then that's their own fault. But let's just leave the Botman deal. go for maybe Diego Carlos. I'm sure we'll get linked with a lot of players as well next week. But we need players in. I mean, we're probably more likely to get them in after the Leeds game. We've got 17 days between matches. Leeds aren't the same side this season as they were last season. You know, they haven't had that good a season under but so we could probably get something at Ellen Road, but the players need to pull the finger out. Sean Longstaff, another one who's absolutely terrible. It's a case of like one good game every 10. A bit like Lascelles, like one good, like it's not good enough. I'm thinking, are these players just deliberately playing shit because they know they're going to be out of the club if we stay in the Premier League? Or just basically, you know, or out regardless, so they're like, yeah, whatever. But maybe they're just playing shit because they know potentially there are players that would stay if we went down. You know, we need a midfielder. You could say throw in Matty Longstaff, but obviously FIFA rules mean that he can't play until realistically, we can't replay him until we decide whether to loan him or not. Because if he plays for us, even if it's under 23s, we can't then send him out on loan anywhere else. You could maybe put him in, but we need a midfielder. But do you know what? Even Jeff Hendrick at this moment in time would be better than Longstaff and better than Joe Willock. You know, at least he's put in the effort. I mean, unlike Willock. And as for Longstaff, he needs to come out the team. With Hendrick, might take the piss out of him, but has he done much wrong this season? Yes, he's barely played for it, but I remember Johan Gouffran, I remember Jazz Gutierrez were written off when they were playing badly, but under certain managers, but then, or not looking under certain managers, but once that manager left, they came back in and played a lot better. Maybe Hendrick can do that. As for substitutions, he brought on Murphy for Fraser. Good substitution, but he's done it too. Eddie Howe did it too late. He brought on Almiron for ASM. You know, it's a bit of pace, but it didn't really have much of an impact. I think Eddie Howe's got to take some stick for, you know, the way we just bottled it after. The way we just sat back after taking the lead instead of building on that 2-0 lead. We've lost 21 points from winning positions this season. Like, we could be close to safety if we hadn't drop those points. You know, Southampton at home, Norwich at home, now Watford at home, and there's many other games. You could say, I mean, Watford away as well, when Murphy missed the chance to win us the game. Anyway, I mean, you know, I just can't really think about positives of going down. I'm kind of prepared for the championship, but I want the players to prove me wrong. You know, pull the finger out and put in some effort to actually save us from relegation. Don't get us wrong, I mean, there are positives in the championship, you know, like away days. You know, you'd win more games. There's games in midweek we can go to at St James's Park. I mean, even more so after the pandemic. After last season, I don't know, but yeah, it's just hard trying to talk about positives of going down with when we've got 18 games left to play. Maybe that's just something I'll talk about another time. But honestly, it's just getting embarrassing. And then Everton will probably come to St James, especially Norwich winning against Everton. And do you know what Everton have done? For the third time 5 seasons, they're going to come to St James's Park next month with a new manager. They always fucking do, man. Sorry for the language. I'm just sick of it. I mean, Allardyce, Ancelotti, the one at St James's right after they were appointed at Everton. Oh, this is nailed on, man. This was just fucking nailed on. People saying, would you take Rafa back? Nah, we're going to move on from him. Just get behind Eddie Howe for now. Maybe Rafa would be good as a director of football or a sporting director, but I feel like maybe he's done as a manager in the Premier League. Anyway, don't forget, that's all I've got to say really on yesterday. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, check out my social media pages in the description below. Thank you for watching and I'll see you later.